recurring billing is certainly very important. So all of us are here, and we know how to sell, deliver, and support our products and services, right? That's typically what we do as part of any organization. You want to get customers in, you want to deliver the services and goods, and then eventually support them. And we can do all of this through a CRM system. And I'm hoping and guessing that a lot of you are here because you're familiar with Dynamics 365 or have an interest in Dynamics 365 if you're not already using it. So if you're using Dynamics, you're probably familiar with these applications that are already in there. You use sales for managing opportunities, quotes, and orders. You're probably using project service automation to track your projects and your time, and customer service to support your customers through incident and case management, right? But the main thing here that I want to point out is there's a few things that are missing. You need to power that sales engine through great leads, through good leads, and nurture those relationships. And once you have that sales and delivery mechanism in place, you want to use a system to generate those invoices, to have that billing automation in place. So that's what really ClickDimensions does from a lead management standpoint, and that's what Work 365 is able to do for you from a billing automation standpoint. So this is why I think of this as a complete solution where you've got some core capabilities around the customer engagement application, and then applications like ClickDimensions and Work 365 complete the overall package for you. So quick look at what a traditional sales and billing model looks like, right? Typically you have a quote that you generate out of your CRM system. Out of the quote, you go into an order, and then from there you go that order gets pushed into an ERP system, and then eventually that order gets delivered. Sometimes that feedback comes back into the CRM system, and sometimes it doesn't. This is a very linear process, and it's actually unidirectional. It goes one way. Recurring revenue is actually very different. The primary and most fundamental thing to keep in mind is that recurring revenue and business models are built around scale. Subscription sales grow by adding customers, retaining these customers, and increasing the amount of revenue per customer through acquisition and expansion. As you can see here, there are multiple billing dates that typically happen with customers in a subscription model, right? You have discounts that you might apply to certain customers. Some customers may want annual terms. Some customers may want monthly terms. And allowing your customers to purchase your subscriptions on your terms, on their terms, actually having flexible terms, is really what the challenge is with most recurring and subscription management services applications as well. So I guess this is now a good time to introduce Work 365 if you're not already familiar with it. Work 365 is a subscription management and billing automation application. Really helps you create great customer experiences. It's built on Dynamics 365 as a native application. It includes these 4 solution components around subscription management, self-service, e-commerce, and of course, billing and payments. So I wanted to share this with you today to kind of give you a framework around why, actually rather how you think about building a subscription-based business. And these 9 principles I've actually had a chance to get access to through various industry experts. And this is what they consider, the 9 key metrics around how to build a successful business around subscription management, right? So you want to have the ability to have pricing strategies, acquire customers. Not going to go through the full list, but we consider these the important tenets around how you want to build a subscription-based application and business. And what I want to show you today is how you can take each one of these and actually align them using the applications you have access to, like Work 365 and now ClickDimensions too, right? So 7 of these things fit right into Work 365, where you can use Work 365 to build these pricing strategies. You get accurate and intuitive invoices. You're able to collect cash faster through the billing automation. There's accounting integration as well. And of course, having access to metrics and KPIs are really important. And then on the other hand, you have ClickDimensions that allows you to build those relationships and nurture those relationships using the marketing automation capabilities in the application. So, those 9 key metrics, 9 key criteria that I talked about can quite easily be managed through using Work 365 and ClickDimensions. Now with that, what I'm going to do is turn it over to Joel, who's going to talk to us a little bit about marketing automation and ClickDimensions. So Joel, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ismail. And thank you guys for joining us this morning. So first and foremost, if you weren't here at the beginning of the call, my name is Joel Hinton. I'm a Senior Territory Channel Manager at ClickDimensions. And ClickDimensions, we are a marketing and sales platform that really helps companies use digital technology to acquire new customers and grow them. And specifically, I've been in this space for over 10 years, especially in the marketing automation and SaaS, software as a service industry. But over the last 5 years, I've had the opportunity to strictly focus on Microsoft and ClickDimensions marketing automation technology. Since 2010, our sole mission as a company at ClickDimensions has been to make Microsoft technology really work for marketers so they can create great experiences and retain their customers. So I think it's important to really understand when you're taking your prospective customers and leads and being able to convert them, we have to understand what marketing automation technology is. So, from a simple state, marketing automation technology really helps companies or organizations really increase revenue by attracting and nurturing leads. But then on the flip side of that, it's also enabling you to retain your customers and create those great experiences. So why is marketing automation so important today? You can see that some of these statistics up here are pretty mind-blowing. First and foremost, you have to think about the internet and how social media have really changed the buyer's behavior, which has turned and changed how companies market and sell. I think with really information so readily available to consumers and buyers, they're more in a power position really than ever before. And you can also, from that standpoint, if you're just sending out communications without any pointed direction or personalized content, they're not really going to pay attention to the noise. So you can see this. 89% of the customers begin their buying process with Google or getting on some type of search engine to do their own homework. So if 89% of customers are doing that, they're probably already through some of the buying process or cycle before they even get to a person from your organization or company and make that connection. Also, Ismail, if you want to go through the next slide, and you guys can take a look at those, but 79% of marketing leads never convert into sales. So I do want to take a quick poll here and just ask people on the call today if they are using a marketing automation solution. I know marketing automation solutions can vary by platform, and features can definitely vary, but it's an interesting, there's some interesting statistics out there today saying that by 2022, businesses will actually invest about 80% more of their dollars into marketing automation technology. So if you will, go ahead and fill that out.
So we'll give it another 10, 20 seconds. We're about 60% of the audience that's voted, and then we'll close the poll here shortly. So if you don't mind just submitting your response, that'd be great. All right, thank you very much. I'm going to close the poll. So Good news, Joel, for you. There's a lot of people that are using marketing automation. The question is whether they're using ClickDimensions.
Cool.
I'm gonna share the
All right.
poll here.
All right, there we go. So 60-40, that's, I would say that's pretty, and like I said, based on those answers, features can vary by platform, and, people may think that they're doing automation, and it might be a simple process internally that you guys have today. But there are some different ways that you can use marketing automation to really impact the buyer's journey and then also retain your customers. So here's another slide. Why is marketing automation so important today? And you have to think from this standpoint. Marketing automation technology really allows your organization to really meet your prospective customers' expectations, and they really help you to nurture your prospects until they're ready to buy. It helps you better engage your customers, and really it brings that alignment to sales and marketing, all while streamlining your marketing processes and tasks, really for greater efficiency, increased revenue, and then you as a business owner, you can really spend the time necessary on the most important tasks instead of looking through spreadsheets or whatever it might be. So look at some of these stats here. I think this is pretty interesting that 63% of companies that are outgrowing their competitors use marketing automation. That's the last stat on this slide here. That's pretty, 63%. So 60-40 split on our poll, Ismail. I think, hopefully those 60% that answered yes are outgrowing their competition with the use of their platform. Also, it's interesting that companies that have implemented a marketing automation platform, they have higher levels of collaboration between sales and marketing. So there's better alignment from that standpoint. And then, 80% of marketers using automation tools generate more leads. So those are just some of the stats of why marketing automation is so important today. From ClickDimensions, the technology stack with Dynamics 365, I think you got to step back here and really understand, what is ClickDimensions. So ClickDimensions is really the only complete marketing solution for the Microsoft Dynamics ecosystem. It's made exclusively and natively built, just like Work 365 within the Dynamics environment. And we combine, multiple channel marketing automation technology. We have marketing dashboards for deeper insights into marketing results and revenue impact. And also, we do offer a full range of world-class support and services. And really, this is all designed to ensure the success of marketers and sales folks at organizations that use Dynamics 365. So here, this is a traditional marketer's tool set, and Ismail, you can see that. But typically, in the toolbox of a typical company or organization, they have many disparate or separate siloed data or applications that don't talk. Typically, you'll see that they have to import and export lists and sync data. They have to get reports or analytics from different applications to really make sense of all the analytics. Well, with ClickDimensions, Work 365, and being built on the Dynamics 365 platform, all the data is in one place. So now you can get real-time results, make informed business decisions, so you guys can execute and strike while the iron's hot for your prospective customers and leads. Ismail, you want to go ahead and forward through there? So this is just the feature set from ClickDimensions. Like I said, features can definitely vary by platform, but these are some of the common features that are in the ClickDimensions solution. So email marketing is always a staple within a marketing automation platform, but email marketing is not where it stops. from web intelligence to lead scoring down at the bottom. So ClickDimensions will give you the ability to track your visitors on your website, score their behavior, so you can really see who's coming on your website in real time, what they do when they get there, and what content they're actually consuming on a minute-to-minute basis while they're surfing on your website and blogs and landing pages and different things like that. We also have the ability to create web content. So web content, I want you to think about this as capturing data really about your prospective leads and prospects, or even collecting data about your customers. With ClickDimensions, all of our web content features such as forms and surveys and landing pages, all of this data, because we are a native solution, it maps back appropriately to the specific places within Dynamics 365. So whether that's on a contact or a lead or an opportunity or an account record, all that is mapped back to the appropriate places. We also have things like event management, so you can connect to GoToWebinar, WebEx, Cvent, Eventbrite. We also enable you to create and post on your social platforms such as Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram, and get all the analytics and reporting all on an easy to see and usable dashboard. We also have SMS messaging, just like our email marketing channel. You can send out bulk, individual, or you can automate those processes very easily. And then last but not least, campaign automation. Campaign automation is going to give you the easy to use interface to create an experience for prospective customers or leads and take them down different journeys and paths to really get them to be nurtured along that process. You can get them to a state where they're ready to buy. So that's just some of the features that ClickDimensions includes. Well, those are the features that ClickDimensions includes. The one major thing is, utilizing these all together to really make that seamless experience from converting your leads into customers and creating that great experience so they'll be retained.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna make you presenter here, Joel. Just a quick second. Let's look at some of those features in action.
Yep. All right. And Ismail, if you can let me know if you can see my screen, that'd be great.
Yep, I can see it. Thank you.
Okay, great. So if you guys are familiar with the Dynamics 365 environment, you guys should at least be somewhat familiar with this blue banner up at the top. Yours might be a different color. Your logo might be up here where it says Dynamics 365. This is just my own demo environment. As you can see in the change areas, ClickDimensions is a native solution. So you can go right into the different change areas like those features and functionality that I just showed you on that PowerPoint slide just a minute ago. But here, when you jump into the different areas, there's a planning area, so you can see a marketing calendar, you can create campaigns, you can also see the messaging area where you can create SMS, social messages, email messages, campaign automation messages. You'll have your web and events, so this is for event management, or web content to create forms or surveys or landing pages. You also have your audience change area, where this will give you the ability to create segmentations or marketing lists to send out to a predetermined group of recipients or contacts or leads. So here, when you typically will start out just by going into the audience section here. And here you'll notice that I have contacts, leads, and accounts. You'll also notice that I have marketing lists. So marketing lists, this is a very easy way to create segmentations that you want to nurture or market to. You'll notice here in my active marketing list, you'll notice that there's a couple different types of marketing lists, static and dynamic. I think this is very important to understand, because typical solutions out there that aren't native to your customer relationship management tool, like Dynamics 365, you really don't have the ability to have dynamic meaning that they change or update automatically based on the criteria that you specify. So if you create a dynamic list, marketing list within Dynamics 365, and let's just say that you create this based on specific criteria, meaning maybe you want to pull a list of all the people within your database that have a certain geographic zip code. Well, if you pull that list and make it dynamic, if you add a new person or a lead or a prospect or a customer to your database, and they meet that criteria of this dynamic list, well, then they'll be automatically added to a dynamic list because it's going to update automatically. A static list does not update automatically, so you can just have static lists where you can manage those by, updating them manually or removing people from that list. But I typically like to start out with a dynamic list because that's always going to update automatically based on criteria changing within my Dynamics 365 environment. Also, you'll notice here when you go into messaging, you can actually jump right into email. You can jump into automations here. You can also jump into SMS or even social. But just to give you a quick little flavor of some template creation, if we go into templates here, and then if you want to just create a pretty simple template, we have actually 3 or 4 different editors that you can choose from. I'm not going to build an email template by HTML. I do know some code, but I'm not going to spend the time to actually write out a full HTML template. So when you go in here to create an email template, you can do that. You can hit new. You can put whatever the name is here, and I'll just put test. You can test out here, and then you can choose which editor you want. Like I said, our new drag and drop is a very intuitive designer. It gives you the ability to choose from pre-formatted templates. You can drag and drop content into the blocks as you see fit. So that's the one I typically like to use, but then we also have different mediums for every level of technical ability and comfort. So I'll just hit save here, and then I'll open up the editor. What you'll notice here is that you can actually start with basic layouts. So if you want to choose a basic layout here, we also have featured templates. So if there's a featured template you want to use, you can start out with that. So you can select that. You'll also notice, if we jump back to the templates, if you've already created email templates, you can reuse the ones you've already created. So you can see those, you can pull those in. You also have the ability to change your corporate style. So if you want to lock down corporate styles, you can do that right from that setting right there. But if you go back into our featured templates, and I'll just jump out of this real quick, this is very easy to use. So if you want to drag and drop content into the blocks as you see fit, it's very easy to do that. Also, you can change and put in brand new sections. Like I said, this is a very flexible medium. So if you wanted to double click on this column section and add maybe this section have 2 columns, and then you want to change the distribution maybe to 1/4 and 3/4, you can do that. You can pull in an image here. You can pull in some text here. You have that ability to do that. It's very easy to use. Also, if you want to go into the global style of the email template here, you can change the background images, colors, section widths, page borders, inner borders, typography, all of that right from this easy to use drag and drop designer. One other thing to mention too is if you are pulling in a text block here, you'll notice there's this little personalize button over here in the GUI. So if you hit the little personalize button, this is going to allow you to pull in any field or custom field from your Dynamics 365 environment from the contact lead account entity. So you will be able to pull that information in to really personalize your email communications. Another thing too is you can actually test all of your emails before you send them out. You can send it to an email address there. You also have the ability to validate your emails and preview your emails. So if you want to see exactly what it's going to look like on a desktop or a mobile device, you'll have that ability here. You can also run inbox preview tests. So this will actually run an inbox preview on different mobile, desktop, web-based email clients, various versions and platforms, so you guys can see exactly what it's going to look like before you even send it out, depending on what your subscribers are using from a device standpoint. Now, when you send out email communications, you can jump back into an email, and if you want to see how your email's actually performed, you could just do a couple different things. If you've already sent some out, you could go to Sent, and if you sent any newsletters or email communications out, you can jump right into the ones that you sent out, and you can see exactly the statistics here, how it performed, the interactions, all of that here. You can also hit the email statistics tab, and this is going to show you more of a graphical representation of how your email campaign performed, and then get into some of the nitty-gritty details here. So you'll have the overview. You can see the email clients, desktop versus mobile, conversions to your website, form submissions, survey submissions, percentages, and the conversion rates there. You'll also notice a click report. So this will show you all the clickable links within your email communication that was sent out, and which links were clicked on and who actually clicked on them. You'll also be able to get a snapshot of all the recipients that received your email and how they interacted with it. Heat map reporting, so you can see all the clickable links and then the percentages in which those were clicked on. You can export this stats report, and then you can also see if you've used any social sharing icons. If your audience has shared this within their social community, you'll be able to see all of that information here.
So Joel, sorry, not to rush you, but just doing a quick time check.
Yep.
Yep.
So this is just a basic email campaign, but I think it's really important to get back to some of the automation flows and different things here. So if we want to change, go to our change area and go to messaging here. You'll notice that there's an automation section, and you can jump right into a campaign automation. Now, this is really going to show the power of automating some of these processes here. So I'll just put in work 365, and I'll hit save. And then I'll go ahead and open the builder here. So you'll notice here, when you're in the campaign automation builder, this will start out with some campaign automation templates. I typically like to start out with a blank campaign automation, but there are already pre-formatted templates that you can start from. But just to show you how easy it is to create, I'll just start from a blank. And then you'll notice that if you want to pull in triggers, actions, timers, series, these are all automation elements to build out a journey. So if you want to drag and drop on this interactive platform, you can go ahead and pull in a marketing list that you've created. You can pull that one in here, add it to your campaign, and then you can go ahead and start to automate your processes here. So if you want to send an email, and I just pull in a simple email that I created for a sports team here, and then you have the ability to do things like put in wait timers or date timers. You can say that you want to wait a couple days, weeks, months, minutes, whatever you want to do here. Then maybe you want to send them another email. Let's go ahead and select that second template, and I'll just pull in the same one here. Now, after you take a marketing segmentation or a list, you send them an email. Maybe you want to wait, and then you send them another email. I think it's important to realize that once you send out communications to your leads or prospects, you want to see how they interact with your communications. So we have this email interaction trigger that you can pull in here, and this will give us the ability to say, well, based on the email that we sent to them, how did they interact with it? Did they open? Did they click? Let's just say that they click. And then based on this email that we sent, if they actually purchase tickets, if they click on that link, well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them up the green or the positive path here. And if they click on that link, maybe I want to notify an internal Dynamics 365 user. I want to create a task or an activity for that person to reach out to them, to give them a call, strike while the iron's hot. And then I want to send an email letting them know that John is going to be reaching out to them to, give them more information about purchasing tickets or services or whatever it might be. If they didn't click on the intended link, well, then we can take them down the red or the negative path, and then we can send them maybe a couple more emails here. And then we can say, okay, well, if they didn't click on the intended link the first time, did they click on it the second time? And then we can build this out. And if they do, we'll actually show you here. If they do click on that intended link a second time, then we'll take them up to John and get him in touch with John to, purchase tickets or services or whatever it might be. So this is just a hypothetical example of an easy way to create a nurture campaign through ClickDimensions and, get the people involved on your team from a sales standpoint to interact with your prospective customers and leads. Ismail, I know we're coming up on time here, so
yeah, I think we're good for a few more minutes. Joel, if you wanted to just wrap it up, otherwise this has been very helpful. However you wanna use the next few minutes, I think that's good.
Yeah. So this is just one of the ways that you can do this, but I think it's important to really understand too. When your sales folks, or if you got a call from a prospective customer or buyer or whatever it might be, I think it's important to understand like the inside view or the 360-degree view of the prospective customer or lead that you're working with, and how much data that you have in regards to how they're interacting with your company. So if I go to my change area here and go to audience, and just for GDPR and all of those types of regulations, I'll just pull up my own contact record here just to show you. But here, if I pull up my contact record, because Work 365 and ClickDimensions is a native solution, this is going to give you the ability to go right into a contact or lead record. You can go to the related menu and say, hey, have we sent any emails to Joel? Has he been on our website? Has he posted any forms? So if we go to sent emails, you can see that we've sent quite a few emails to Joel, actually 180. And you can see the last one that we sent to him was this: thank you for completing our survey. If I go back into my change area and want to see if he's been on our website, I can go to visits, and you can see that he's been on our website a few times. If I click into his website visits, you can see the total pages, his score, the duration. You can see individual page views here. If there was any refer keywords or referring host, you'd be able to see that. But this is all the important stuff that you want to be able to see when you're actually talking to a prospect, your customer, or a prospective lead. Also, if you received a phone call from a prospect or a lead and you wanted to send them some relevant information, you can also go right at the top of the contact or lead record, and you can actually send them a one-off communication. So if you wanted to send an email out to this person, you could go ahead and select the template here, and then you could go ahead and send that out right from this email process here. You also have the ability to put leads in customers right on a campaign automation right from their contact or lead record as well. So these are just some of the important things that you got to take into consideration about seeing the holistic view of your customers and your potential buyers. And I do want to be a good steward of everyone's time. So, Ismail, I think it would be important just to say, if you want to learn more about ClickDimensions, and I know this is really only scratching the surface in regards to just some of the features that we showed you today, feel free to get in touch with us, and we would be happy to schedule a more in-depth feature or product demo for you guys.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much for that demonstration, Joel. I'm going to switch now to my screen here, unless there's something else you wanted to share.
No, please do.
All right, great. Hopefully you can see my PowerPoint again.
I can.
Yeah. So basically we're trying to wrap up here, and the main thing I wanted to share at the conclusion of this was really that offer, the package that Joel has worked out for our users. And really what we have is basically two packages. These are exclusively, as I mentioned earlier, for Work 365 users. And they're designed in a way to allow folks that are just starting out with a marketing automation solution like ClickDimensions to get in there and start to use the application. And of course, if you're an experienced marketer and want to really build out a lot of capabilities on your marketing organization, you have the full-blown plan as well. So we have two packages here that we've designed. One's the starter plan that has a smaller volume of emails and certain capabilities that will get you going. And then, of course, if you're, as I mentioned, advanced user on marketing, then there's the full-blown plan here as well that you can take advantage of. Some of the capabilities that Joel touched on today were in the advanced plan, and I'm sure we can talk about that in some more detail when you reach out to us. And Joel, I believe you guys offer certain services as well, right, to help partners and users really get onboarded and successful with their marketing automation, right?
That is correct. And you know, for everyone on the call today, and Ismail, I mean, I'm really excited about what we're doing here. These exclusive packages for Work 365 users, because really, you know, Ismail, like you said, I mean, it's really allowing people that have never done any type of marketing automation technology or implemented anything like that to get their feet wet. But then also, once you start and get implemented and start using, then, you know, if things become, you know, where you want to grow into a more sophisticated package, we have that built out for you guys. And like you said, I mean, everything from onboarding to marketing services. We're just not a software company. We provide the onboarding and also the services around that to really help our customers, mutual customers, really get the most return on investment for the money that they're spending for their marketing.
Yep. Right. With that, basically, I wanted to just make sure you know how to reach us. I think there's a sales email here. Of course, that's an easy way to get a hold of us, but my contact information is, I can make sure that's available to everybody as well. There is certain criteria that you have to meet to take advantage of these packages. One, of course, is you have to be a Work 365 user to be able to take advantage of this. And so you'd have to work with us, and then I'd introduce you to Joel and kind of take it from there. So if there's any questions, we're happy to take them right now. Otherwise, that's most of the content we wanted to share with you today. I'm happy to open it up, see if there's anything we can answer while we're still on this call. We'll give it a few minutes. Anybody have anything they'd like to share? Feedback, thoughts, questions? Please don't hesitate. See if I have anything here. No questions so far. Looks like it's all pretty straightforward. All right. Okay, we have one. Thank you very much. Appreciate that feedback. It's actually more a comment. Thanks, Alex. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for making the time. And if there's anything, we'll certainly share the recording here as well through our YouTube channel and circle back, see if we can answer anything. Thanks, Joel, for joining me today.
Thank
Really
you,
appreciate
Ismail,
you.
and thank you guys for joining us. It was my pleasure.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Bye.